Welcome to Rewrite Reality with Jillian Greyse, the podcast leading the global shift in transformation through frequency, quantum healing, and energetic mastery. I'm your host, Jillian Greyse, architect of energetic alignment, and for 20 years, I've been a pioneer of integrating self-transformation for thousands of souls. Each week, we answer the questions that keep you stuck and deliver high-frequency tools to heal and evolve every layer of your being. Join me to elevate your vibration, rewrite your reality, and activate the life your soul remembers. Welcome to the first episode of Rewrite Reality with Jillian Greyse. I am so honored to be your guide as you move through some of these major topics in your life. And I am so humbled to be able to teach you how to shift, how to truly create change, how to understand the things that have been holding you back, why they've been holding you back, and how to channel in the right frequencies so that you can step into what you deserve. This is something that I have been doing for 2 decades. I have had the honor of helping thousands of people, coaching them through major events in their life, coaching them through things they were stuck on, and really getting the opportunity to give them the tools that they need and open up the doors that they've been asked to open so that they can take the next steps in their life. It is truly transformational. And knowing this information is going to separate you from the rest. When you learn how to control your vibration, you become in control. You become the guide you've always dreamt of. You become the creator that you've been trying to bring towards you for so long. The answers are easy, and we're going to walk you through step by step. So on this podcast, I'm going to be answering community questions. I was so excited and overwhelmed by the response when I initially made the podcast announcement with all of the questions I received. I've had thousands of questions come in. So I have been compartmentalizing them with my assistant to certain topics so that you can get the best you can out of your listening experience every single time we sit down together. The first topic that we're going to be covering this week is going to be all around relationships. That is a huge thing for so many. Partnerships, finding the right partner, why you're in the relationship you're in, why there's a stagnant to the energy between you and your partner. We're going to work through that step by step this week. And our first question is from Sedona, Arizona, from Amara. And the question is, how can I tell if I'm energetically aligned with the kind of partner I desire, or if what I'm attracting I've outgrown? This is really simple. A lot of people begin to think, oh goodness, I'm in this relationship and I'm different now and I don't want to stay in this relationship. And, it's my partner that's holding me back. And you kind of get caught up in that internal narrative that the outside world can affect you in a way that it stops you from growing. And the truth is, in life, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. No, I want you to sit with that for a few minutes because very rarely are people comfortable with hearing that sentence. It is so easy to blame somebody else. It is so easy to act like they are the reason for your problems. But the truth is, every relationship that you're in is a reflection of you. So you can't really be in a relationship with someone that you've outgrown per se, because 2 things will happen in that kind of relationship. You'll either grow together. So you'll both be actively seeking growth. And that makes the 2 of you compatible because vibrationally you're similar because you're seeking to achieve or you're seeking to move forward. Or you're both in the same vibrational energy where you both think, oh gosh, this person is beneath me, or they really aren't doing the things that I want to be doing, or why am I still stuck in this? If you ever find yourself in a relationship where you have that feeling where you've outgrown them, it's because you're trying to grow, but you're holding yourself back. So you're essentially outgrowing you. And that feeling starts to reverberate into the relationship around you. Your relationships are a mere reflection of what's going on internally. And when you're able to accept that and you're able to acknowledge that, it can completely transform any relationship that you're in. So to answer your question, if you're not energetically aligned with someone, then you wouldn't be asking this question because your relationship would have already dissolved by any level of means prior to you even asking, because you wouldn't be connected with them. you again do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. So that's a very important thing to understand. And if you're feeling like you've outgrown your relationship, then you're most likely also having feelings that you've outgrown where you are as a person, but you aren't growing the way that you want to. So you're not nurturing that growth from within so that you can go in a direction that feels more rewarding for you. So you want to look internally at how you can start nurturing yourself in a direction that helps you to feel like you're growing, and then reevaluate where your relationship is later on. Most likely you won't have to, because energetically it will take care of itself if that person is not connected to the frequency that you're on. Okay. Love that question, Amara. Thank you so much. This next question comes from Austin, Texas, from Marie. And the question is, why do I keep choosing emotionally unavailable people? And what frequency am I broadcasting to call that in? I love this question. I love this question because the mere second half of it, where you're saying, okay, what am I broadcasting? That tells me that you are doing the work, that you understand what this is all about. So like attracts like, and there's a huge meaning to that we don't really understand because it turned into such a cliche saying. Your vibration, your emotion, that is what you attract towards you. So when people say vibration, what they're meaning is how you're feeling. Feeling is a vibration. It's the energy in motion around you. It's why you can be around someone who's sad and upset and you can feel that they're sad and upset because you're feeling their vibration. So when people talk about your vibe, your emotion is actually what they mean. And when you are in a vibration of any type, you're going to attract people that are also at that vibration with you. So like attracts like, that's where that meaning comes from. So if you're sad and you're depressed and you feel like you're not achieving what you want to in life, then you're going to attract partners that are sad and depressed and feel like they're not achieving what they want to in life. Or you may attract a partner in life that's going to make you feel like you are sad and depressed and you're not doing what you should be doing in life. Whatever is your vibration, you're going to attract something that amplifies it and shows it that it's there, and also helps give you the keys on how to solve it if you're open enough to seeing it. So the frequency that you are projecting when you're emotionally unavailable is internally, you often feel like there's pain. You've been hurt. You can't keep yourself safe. You don't feel protected. And when you don't feel those things, you're going to be emotionally unavailable. And when you're emotionally unavailable, you're going to attract partners that are emotionally unavailable. So you see how easy this flows? It's very simple to look at a relationship and see what vibration you're holding on to that's causing patterns to repeat. So the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, okay, am I emotionally available? Do I open up my heart to people? Am I closed off? Are there pains that I'm holding on to that I have not addressed? And then you want to address those things. And how you address them is first acknowledging that they exist. That's huge. The moment you acknowledge something, it's like you call it out of the woods and it can't hide behind anything anymore. It's in front of you, it's in your face. And then you want to ask yourself, how do I emotionally support myself? What do I need? And self-love is a huge piece of this, and not the kind of self-love that you hear about that is in the cliches of you've got to, go to a spa or have like a mommy day. No, you need to take time out to actually ask yourself what you need to know that you are there for you. So is it nurturing yourself properly? Maybe changing your diet, maybe exercising. Is it spending more time outside in nature? Is it taking some time in the evening to maybe take a bath so you can relax? Is it going for a walk? Is it starting to do something that would help you to get more exercise or more muscle? How can you honor you? And honoring you often starts with doing some type of physical action, whether it's making sure you eat properly, whether it's taking the time out to let yourself relax. Anything like that tends to be the first stop when you begin to understand the power of what you need to do in order to start loving yourself enough, in order to start giving yourself what you need. So if you're finding that you're attracting partners that are emotionally unavailable, it's because you're closed off. And you have to be the first partner that you could dream of having. So everything you want your partner to embody, you have to begin embodying it. So you want to ask yourself, what do I need to heal so I can be emotionally open? What am I holding on to? What are the pieces in my past that may have hurt me? And when you look at those pieces and you start to really do the work, that's going to shift everything. And I talk about this really in depth in Vibrational Architect's Handbook. It is such a profound part of learning to expand and learning to find a partner. Finding that connection of how you become your own personal partner first is huge. To answer your question on why you keep drawing in emotionally unavailable people, it's because you're emotionally unavailable. You need to look at the reasons why, and you need to look at what you need in order to heal those things so that you can take those next steps and you can be the partner to you that you're dreaming for. And therefore, you're going to draw in the partner that you can dream with. Okay, question 3. This comes from Lena from Portland, Oregon. And the question is, can two people have different healing timelines and still be compatible in a conscious relationship? Yes, you can absolutely have a different healing timeline from someone else and still be compatible. The reason for that is because everything is vibration. So if you are working actively to heal something, then you're going to draw on partners that are also working actively to heal something. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Someone who is healing from abandonment issues and somebody who is healing from abuse, they have the same feeling. And remember what we talked about, vibration is unanimous with feeling. That's how you can get a gauge of what you're casting and what you're sending out. You can focus on your feeling. And that's going to give you an idea of the other things in that feeling line that you're going to draw towards you. So when you ask a question about can you heal with someone else? Yes, because technically you're in the same vibration. You both have gone through traumas or had things that you need to grow from. So therefore you have that same vibrational energy connected and you can do those things together. That is the key to most relationships, being open to healing at the same time, being open to growth at the same time. That is transcending so many different connections in your life. Because if you can have a partner that understands that being in a partnership is about evolving, then you have found a really amazing person to be with in this lifespan, because that is what life is about. And it's what's at the core of all strong relationships, the ability to grow and the ability to give each other space and to grow together when it's necessary in your connection. So yes, you can definitely be with someone else who's healing something different and be compatible in a wonderful relationship. That's what you want to look for in life. Okay. Question 4 comes from Elijah from North Charleston, South Carolina. The question that you're asking is actually a beautiful one. And I read about this again in Vibrational Architect's Handbook. It has to do with soulmates. And what Elijah asks is it possible to manifest a soulmate intentionally, or are those connections always divinely timed? So first, we're going to dial a little bit into the word soulmate. That for me is a word that I have seen trigger so many people I've worked with throughout the years, because we have these ideologies of soulmates that really come from storybooks, and they're not true. The idea that you have this person that's going to be your other half, they're going to fix you, they're going to be, the yin to your yang, they're going to create this perfect synergy, they're going to heal you, is a fallacy. You have soulmates or people that you're on this planet with that are connected to you in different family structures, in different friend groups, that are there to teach you, that are there to help you understand, and that are there to guide you. Some of your soulmates are actually going to be people who create painful experiences in your life, because their objective is to help you learn. And before we come to this planet, we have a very unique understanding of how we would like our soul to grow and the things we need to release. So we will have soulmates that connect us into that release and that teach us what we need to release and let go of. So therefore, soulmates is a really powerful word. And it isn't just this perfect individual or this one person you're going to be with for your entire life. Soulmates are people that are there to help you grow on your path. And can your soulmate, and if you're in relationships, are those people most likely your soulmates? Yes. You have many, however. It isn't just one or two. There may be one that your soul connects with deeper than other soulmates or has different titles. You can have friends that are soulmates. You can have family members that are soulmates. You can have partners that are soulmates. The key is the people that make you feel like home. Those are soulmates to you. So, can you bring in a soulmate? Can you manifest a soulmate? Not necessarily, because you're not looking to manifest anything. You are looking to intentionally create this connection within yourself where you are compatible to somebody in a way where you can move forward and you can create something beautiful. You want to bring a soulmate into your life that's going to complement your growth. And to sit and think about them, and this is one of my biggest gripes about the manifestation generation. You don't just sit around all day and cross your fingers and think about something to make it happen. There has to be inspired action. You have to have the masculine and the feminine. The feminine births the idea, the masculine is the active part that listens and puts the idea into play. So both elements need to be placed together. And we really got caught up in these concepts of the feminine version of manifesting only. And then we were caught in concepts of the masculine version of manifesting only. And the masculine version of manifesting was about action. This whole culture where you've got to push, you've got to be number one, you've got to, really, really strive. That is the masculine way of manifesting. The feminine way of manifesting is about being and letting it come towards you. You need both. And we've got a little bit stuck in this world of you've got to choose what side, masculine or feminine. And it really has been detrimental because true manifestation thrives on both elements being at play. So, can you manifest your soulmate intentionally? It depends on how you look at it. And your other half of your question was, are those connections divinely timed? And the answer to that is yes. For the most part, the people who come into your life that are going to help change you for the good or help you learn in whatever way that's necessary, that is most likely divinely timed. And the only time that I've seen that be a little bit of a mix up is if people, you can have soulmate connections and someone that you are contracted in to be in this life that's supposed to be your partner. But let's say you're in the middle of healing and you're right at that brink where you're about to make some major breakthroughs, but you start to have doubts about those breakthroughs. That always happens, by the way. You're always going to find when you go through a lot of healing that there is this period where you almost start to question everything and you start to go back on all the progress that you've made and you start to feel lost. That is when that healing is really transforming the neurological system in your brain. So you are letting go of the old. And people get lost in that and they find themselves in environments where they start to feel like they're failing and not doing what they intended. And they end up backtracking. So if you're in one of those situations where you were supposed to be at a certain point in your life, we have free will. If you start to go through healing and then your free will says, oh, I'm not quite done yet, I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo that all over again. Then if you have a soulmate that you contracted to connect with, to have children with, and to bring souls in this earth with, or to have these beautiful experiences with, they don't wait around for you to grow. They have to, or they get slotted in with maybe soulmate number two that was contractually obligated before you got here. So there is a lot of different layers to that soulmate question. I cover them again in Vibrational Architect's Handbook, but I want to just give you a high level understanding of the depth of that connection. And when you're looking to bring in someone who feels like you can be completed with them, you're going to be finding yourself in some huge gray area territory because you need to be whole first. And without that piece, you're going to find yourself consistently coming back around to find wholeness in order to have a successful union with somebody. So if you want to manifest a soulmate, you've got to manifest a connection with yourself first, and then your soulmate will find you. Those connections, yes, they are divinely timed. However, that timing can shift based on your free will. So you really can't write that in stone and just wait in your room and hope somebody shows up, because you're going to have to have action. That's what life is about. Life is active in order to find that connection. Thank you so much for that question, Elijah. It helped us sort of go on many different tangents and many different avenues to gain more information as we really start to understand more and more about this vibrational energy. Okay, the next question comes from Zoe. And Zoe from Boulder, Colorado asks, how do I release energetic imprints of past heartbreak that are showing up in new relationships? Okay. So if you have energetic heartbreak and things that are showing up in your new relationships, then that's going to be an indicator that you still have the vibration of heartbreak very strongly in your field. First thing you want to do is take a step back from relationships while you're healing. It doesn't mean you swear off them forever. It means that you start to look at healing for what it is. And when you have heartbreak, that heartbreak is designed to teach you something. And often it has to do with teaching you maybe the direction of who you want to pursue becomes more present to you after you go through that. But also, we could be working with karma. And karma is a very tricky energy that sometimes we have to learn in order to grow, in order to continue to move past. So when you are experiencing heartbreak, the best thing that you can do to move past that heartbreak and find someone who is compatible with the you that is present now is to learn to forgive and to forgive that person who broke your heart. Because in the world of energy, in the world of why we're here and what we learn, you manifested that heartbreak. You brought it towards you for a reason. It was there to teach you something. And by letting go of it, you will allow yourself to heal in a way that is deeply profound. Because not only did you need that experience, but you manifested that experience. You were a vibrational connection to that experience, or you wouldn't have experienced it in the first place. So when you're forgiving another, you're actually forgiving yourself. And I apologize because that's how I always say it. So for me, like, forgiveness of another person is forgiveness of self, because you needed that experience. You called it towards you. So therefore, being in that experience is not the other person's fault. And that could be really challenging for people to understand. One of the best ways to work through forgiveness is a ancient Hawaiian technique called Ho'oponopono. And it talks about this process of asking 4 questions and projecting it onto whatever in the past you need to heal. And you go into a meditative state, you call on the energy of that individual or that circumstance, and you repeat these 4 questions to yourself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. What you're doing is you're taking the vibrational energy, and that's what this is all about. It's about releasing that vibrational connection that made you enter the experience that you did in the first place, that made you a beacon for it, a magnet for what you experienced. So when you acknowledge your role in that and you say, I'm sorry, and you ask for forgiveness, that releases that energetic bond that brought that circumstance towards you. And then when you thank the universal energy and your higher self and your soul for having that experience, and then step back and come back to a place of love, that is where forgiveness sits. That is the ultimate forgiveness. I chat about this in my book. I talk about how when you don't forgive somebody, it's like you drinking poison and hoping that they'll be in pain. Forgiveness is truthfully something that you need to do for yourself. You don't need to do it for the other individual. You need to do it for yourself, because on some level, the hurt that you're experiencing and the trauma that you're holding on to, it's linked to you. And when you can let that go, you become a whole nother version of healed in your life. but the acknowledgement of that is huge. So when it comes to releasing heartbreak and not bringing people into your life that are causing heartbreak, you've got to start off with your energetic imprint first and foremost. Okay, that is going to conclude our first podcast. I hope all of you enjoyed. Please share this podcast with anyone that you believe this knowledge will help. You will be so shocked at how a little bit of information can really shift someone's life. And that is my objective. That's what I've always been here to do. And I am so, so humbled to be your guide on this journey. My name is Jillian Greyse, and I will chat with you again soon. You've just tuned into Rewrite Reality with Jillian Greyse, architect of energetic alignment and pioneer of integrated self-transformation. If this episode shifted your frequency, share it with someone you care about, because one share can spark healing, alignment, and a ripple effect of transformation in someone's life. Submit your questions today at jilliangreyse.com/ask and explore transformational tools, masterclasses, and frequency-based healing at jilliangreyse.com. Join me every week to elevate your vibration, rewrite your reality, and activate the life your soul remembers.